Welcome to Northfield Mount Hermon. My name is John Carroll. I coach the boys basketball team and I work in the athletic department. Today we have 4 of our terrific student athletes here to share some ideas about why they chose Northfield Mount Hermon and the experiences they've had as a student athlete at NMH school. So what was the main reasons for you guys to look at Northfield Mount Hermon specifically? What was the attraction to the school?
I started looking at boarding schools because women's hockey is hard to find in Albany, New York, and I needed to go somewhere where I could have academics and hockey all in the same place. And this was the first school that I actually came to visit and immediately fell in love with it. The campus, the people, the hockey coach, the teachers, everyone. And so this was actually the only school that I applied to because I said if I'm going to go to a prep school, I'm going to go to NMH.
So I chose to come to boarding school because it all has it in one place, the academics, the crew, swimming at a very competitive and high level where I'm able to better myself as an athlete and a student. So I'm really happy with the choice I made by coming here.
What was your introduction like to the community, specifically your programs that you decided to play athletically? So what was your introduction, Allie?
So I was actually very nervous to come to prep school. Before I came here, I was not someone that liked being away from home. I went to sleepaway camp for a week and cried every night. So coming here was very nerve-wracking, but when the hockey season came around, everything just kind of clicked and I was really close with my team. I had like a whole new family. My best friends became the girls on the team. And it was really welcoming here and I thought it was pretty easy to adjust.
For me, when I first came, I wasn't nervous as most of my friends were. I've been away from home. I traveled a lot for basketball tournaments, and I was still technically on campus with my family because my brother was still attending the school. The one thing that I struggled with the most was academics. In my old school, it wasn't as hard, so I didn't come here expecting that I'd have 3 to 4 hours of homework a night. The readings, the tests, everything was different. So I think the first few months I struggled with academics, but with my advisors, my dorm heads, my teachers, everyone supported me and pushed me to, crack down, and time management was one thing that I learned to do, balancing basketball, hanging out with my friends, and just doing homework. All those things that NMH provided for me actually helped me to achieve what I have today.
I came as a new sophomore and I was really nervous coming in because I was like, everyone's going to have their own friend groups, I'm not going to know anybody and I'm going to be totally isolated. But on the first day of cross-country practice, we had a really great group of senior girls, in particular Captain Caroline, and they kind of all took all of us new students in and we really kind of like made a family, and so I immediately had friends. I had girls in the dorm, we'd go to practice together, we'd have dinner together, and so it really let me have a group of mentors on campus to help me out right away.
All 4 of you are going to be college athletes. 2 of you have already made their college decisions. All 4 of you are captains of multiple sports. What was that, as a younger student, what was it like having that kind of mentorship to kind of teach you the ropes to kind of get acclimated to a community like this as a student and an athlete? What was that process like? And then what was it like now, kind of instilling that on the younger students at our school as leaders of our athletic community?
Being a student here at NMH, you're kind of part of a huge community, but being an athlete, you're part of a smaller family. Each team in itself is a family, regardless of if you play for 3 seasons of 3 different sports. I think my basketball team, I could say, for an example, I felt like they were all my sisters. When you fall on the ground, they're the first ones to run over to you to lift you up. When you're tired, they're the first ones to push you and say, hey, keep going, like we are all in this together. So for me, one thing that I'll take away from my athletic career here at NMH is I always have that one family, which would be my team.
I think as a teammate, you have to support everyone, and everyone kind of relies on each other for support. Even if it's a tough game, you're losing by a lot, it's important to have all of your teammates supporting you so that you can get through that with a positive attitude.
And I think it's a responsibility, but it's also really a privilege to have these people, to have the support from all sides, from your coaches, from your teammates. And it's so easy to just be kind of with them and be happy to be doing the same thing. And when you succeed together, it's a great feeling. When you lose together, it kind of brings you closer and brings you more ready to succeed together the next time.
This year, as an assistant captain, I made it my goal to be somebody's inspiration. I wanted to be somebody that a younger girl would look up to and say, I want to be like her. And that's still my goal as a captain next year.
Something I'm really proud of is being a captain for my teams and being able to support younger athletes and show them all what NMH athletics is all about and what cross country and track and that feeling of community we have like older girls used to do for me.
The average high school has less than 4% of their athletes go off to play college sports. At North Mount Hermon, it's over 40%. So can you talk about this communal part that we have in athletics where you're not pursuing this thing alone and you're not the first one to do it? So let's start with Riley this time.
Well, what I love about NMH is that since so many of our students are athletes, like we are really well-rounded here. Like to know that like your closest friends are also in your classes and are also on your athletic teams. We're all kind of on the same cycle, same schedule. We're all very well-rounded. We're happy and healthy and scholarly and all these things together.
Allie?
I'm speaking for hockey right now, but I think this applies for pretty much every sport here. I think our coaches really, really help us a lot. I know I would not be able to play hockey in college without my coach. He helped push me, he helped talk to the coaches for me, and I also think it's great to have girls surrounding you with the same goal. They all want to play in college, so I think it just helps that everyone's after the same goal and we're all academically strong, athletically strong. It's just you have a lot of people like you that are surrounding you, and it just makes it that much easier.
And you all push each other to get there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also one thing that's good about that, with everyone wanting to play the same sport in college, you have your teammates in off season to actually work out with you and do drills with you. So it's like you're not alone in the process. You have someone who's pushing you and someone who's going to help you get better each and every day.
Yeah. Something else I think is really great about the school is not only the students, student athletes, and they do sports and they do music and other activities, but the teachers are there too. So I have a really great opportunity of having my college counselor is also my cross-country coach. So it's really nice to have someone there helping me through the college process who knows me really well, knows my running, knows my academics, and it's a really great advantage we have here.
A lot of my friends who have gone into also play Division I sports, Division II, Division III, but are playing a sport and balancing athletics, academics at the same time, they're able to do it because after graduating NMH, they were able to learn how to manage their time wisely. And I think that's one thing that I will take going off to Quinnipiac, because I know basketball will take up a lot of my time. So I'm going to have to figure out times in between classes and everywhere to study, to go do projects, and while also being on the road.
We're one of the unique schools where we break out our college counselors by sport. Each one of you is represented by someone who understands what it means to be a student athlete in your sport and what it takes to be a college athlete as far as the college application process. So can one of you just get us started on that part of how the process works as far as the matriculation to college as an athlete?
So it's really helpful for me to have my college counselor know me so well, and so I've been able to sit down with Erin. Erin Lyman's also my counselor, and talk through like what I need athletic-wise and what I need for academics, and find schools that really fit me in both those ways. And then she's been helping me make an athletic resume and reach out to coaches and respond to coaches that have reached out to me and really navigate that whole process.
Well, with everything regarding like D1, D3, all of that stuff, my counselor, Peter Jenkins, has been great. He's such a crew guy. He really knows what he's talking about, and he's able to tell me which programs will I be competitive in, which programs will I be lower end, higher end. In regards to swimming, if I went D3, I would want to be competitive in both. So when I start my process, and I am starting my process now with him, he's really helping me find like the right fit athletically and academically.
One of the more interesting components about the school is that you can be an artist and you can be an athlete, you can be a musician, all that. And Allie, I think you're a great example of it. You're on the dance team, and yet you're also a Division I hockey player. So can we just go around and just talk about the opportunities to really live a balanced life here as far as academics, extracurricular activities, and social life?
Yeah, I think it's great here. I mean, at home, when I had to travel for hockey, I really struggled to dance as well. And there was just no balance between that, and including my academics, there was no balance. And here, I could dance in the fall and spring and play hockey in the winter. and also balance my academics. So everything just kind of balances out perfectly and makes it much easier to do everything you love here.
For me, I'm not a musician or an artist, or although I love taking art classes here, it's so fun, and it's so relaxing. I'm a peer educator. We have this new health initiative really kicking off next year. I'm a peer mediator, which means like if two students are having conflict, we have this great peer mediation program. I'm involved in a lot of different things. I started a club for mental illness awareness, and I'm part of the cancer team and other things. So it's really awesome for me that we're able to kind of be well-rounded students in every aspect we want. Like if there isn't a club that you want to be in, you can start your own. Like if there's an issue on campus that you want to address, you can address it. So you really have the power to kind of change and like bend NMH to fit your lifestyle, you know, and make yourself be the person that you want to be in every walk of life here.
I think for me, back home, the one thing I focused on was basketball, and I never imagined myself doing anything else but basketball. But when I applied to NMH and they had the list of interests, and I saw like dancing and like cooking clubs or the cancer team and all those things, I checked them off because I was interested in them. But at home, I never would have gotten the opportunity to join something like that or be part of something like that. And one thing that's nice for me, like Ali said, like she danced, and I took a dance class last year, and I still was able to play basketball. Like NMH makes your schedule in a way that you can have all your classes, your co-curriculars, and all your sports teams, and still have time for study hall, dinner, and hanging out with your friends. So, like I said earlier, like time management was one thing that I really learned how to do here at NMH, and I think it's gonna stick with me in college as well.
Well, I play instruments. I do 3 varsity sports. I do science club. I was able to go to India and teach at an orphanage this summer, and just all these amazing opportunities that are all here for me. And I'm able to balance them. And it's not easy, but you're still able to do it, and you get a lot of skills from it, and there's lots of support.
Awesome. I've been fortunate enough to know all of you for a number of years, and I've seen the evolution of all of you from freshmen and sophomores to these, really high-end athletes. What are the changes that you've seen in yourself from the time you got here until who you are now and as you depart for college?
I think for me mentally, I've grown stronger. My freshman year, especially on the court, I think I would get frustrated at myself, and still to this day I still do get frustrated at myself, but one thing that I've had the opportunity to have is, for example, you reached out to me earlier and you told me like, hey, there are some things that you need to change in order to be a better teammate, and that helped me in every single game. Now I think of that like someone else is watching me and someone else is critiquing me, and I don't want for someone not to like me or someone to think, hey, this kid, she can't like mentally control herself. And I think for one thing, going off into college, I'm going to have a strong mental game. Everything is mental for me from now.
For me, physically, I always used to think as a freshman, kind of into my sophomore year, I always used to think I'm not pushing myself hard enough, you're not going to the gym enough, you're not doing enough extra work to be at this high-end level where you want to be. But since then, I've learned kind of how to physically and mentally take a break when I need it and really support myself and my body and make myself the best athlete I can be without kind of running myself into the ground. So that's one thing I think NMH has definitely taught me, would be like managing my time, being more than just an athlete, like really finding myself as a person, like as like a social leader, as a student, as all those things. And that's one thing that I am confident about going into college with.
How has an NMH coach inspired you?
Well, my coach came to me in the beginning of the year and helped me make a list of all the schools I want to go to, and without him I would not be able to play college hockey. He really helped me.
Grace Warncrest, she's a new coach on campus, and in the fall she approached me, like similar to Ali, my coach approached me in a way, asking me what I wanted to look forward to towards the end of the season. And obviously when you're asked that question as an athlete, you want to win championships, you want to win this, you want to win that. But for me, she said, what do I want to get out of it as a player? Like, how do I want to better myself? How will I see myself leaving? And what am I going to say when after my last game? Like, I don't want to have any regrets, in the way that she wanted me to make sure that I was able to accomplish all those type of goals, get better at shooting, get better at being a leader and a friend or a teammate.
For me, my track coach, after every race, he always asked me, what did I learn from that race, and he has me talk through it, where I was at and what I can learn so I can be more successful next race, whether I had a great race and I won, or had a horrible race, came in last, ran a really slow time. I always find something to learn from it.
I had to miss the fall season, unfortunately, but was able to get back in it for swim season, and I actually did really well regardless of having an injury. My coaches, my teachers, everyone here supported me 100% on helping me, especially the trainers in the training room and our gym were 100% there for me and helped me rehab every day. So thanks to them and thanks to all the support I've had, I'm like a fully healthy athlete now and a student.
Bottom line, why should they choose to come to North Mount Hermon to be an athlete and a student at our school?
I think they should choose NMH because I think we have pretty much every opportunity that a teenage kid could want. We have arts, we have athletics, we have academics, we have everything. And I think even if there was something they think that we don't have here, they could bring it here. If they want to create a club or create something for what they love, they can do that here.
Going off of what Allie just said, I think not only do we have everything here, I think we have some of the most interesting, nicest, and enthusiastic people doing these things.
I don't think any other school has such a strong community-based family as we do.
Yeah, and we have everything, and you can really choose and pick which things you want to be a main part of your career here at NMH, and some things maybe you're not as interested in, and you're really able to choose who you want to be and how you want to be that person.
We want to thank you for spending time with us today and learning more about our NMH athletic program. We look forward to having you on campus very soon.